Let's be honest, you've tried this before. You had grand plans to finally change your life, achieve your business goals, and become who you really should be. You worked hard for 3 days and then relapsed again. We all know this old story. And I was caught in that cycle for way too long. And it was about 1.5 to 2 years ago that I finally managed to break out of that cycle of having great plans because you're at rock bottom and you feel horrible about yourself. So you suddenly get motivated and you want to change things about your life and you make that plan. It would be perfect if you just follow that plan. And then you do that for 3 days and then you relapse hard. And then you're angry at yourself and start making new plans and you try again next Monday. But it just doesn't work out. All the time you make a new plan and then you relapse hard again. All you have is the opposite of success. You have constant failure in your life and this is just discouraging. Within this video, I will explain why this doesn't work and what else works to get out of this horrible cycle and finally getting into an upward spiral that gets you your dream life. Let's get into it. How to break free from this cycle and achieve the success that you actually want. This is the biggest mistake most people make. They overwhelm themselves. So obviously rule number 1 is to not overwhelm yourself and start with the 1 habit rule. What the heck does that mean? The problem is that you try to change everything at once. A new morning routine, gym, diet, meditation, journaling, reading, all starting Monday, right? But that doesn't work because it's too much for your brain. So the solution is pick just 1 habit, 1 to start with, and stick to it for 3 weeks rather than implementing 5 new habits. And from tomorrow on, you work out every day, you meditate every day, you journal every day, you work on your goals for 12 hours every single day. It doesn't work. Just start with 1 thing and then stay consistent at it. Do 3 weeks minimum of the 1 new habit. For example, you want to start meditating every day. 10 minutes meditation, like don't overwhelm yourself, do it for 3 weeks, and then you're allowed to add the next habit. Why this works? Your brain can only handle so much change at once. Success builds momentum. If you did that for a few days and then 3 weeks, you succeeded at changing yourself and therefore changing your life. Usually your life circumstances, they also change, but they change with a delay in comparison to how you as a person change. 1 solid habit is infinitely better than having 5 failed attempts. The action step is very, very simple. Right now, just pick 1 habit where you know that if you would do that every single day, this would get you closer to your goal. And then just do that 1 habit. Number 2, find out what are the 20% of things that you're doing on a daily basis that are holding you back 80%. Most of your problems come from a few key sources in your life. 20% of your habits create 80% of your problems in your life. 20% of your thoughts create 80% of your stress and anxiety that you feel. 20% of your environment, of the people you spend time with, create 80% of your distractions. So what you now do is find your top 3 root causes of your problems. And I know that doesn't sound easy, and that is why I have developed a custom chat GPT specifically programmed to help you find the root causes of the problems in your life that therefore are the root cause that you don't achieve what you want to achieve and don't become the person that you actually want to become. And you can get it for free. Just text me the coach on Instagram. My name is very, very simple. It's just Felix Ehold, written like this. Here are, for example, some root causes that you could have. You could have 1 specific friend who always makes you feel stupid about your goals when you talk about them. Or the fact that you have your phone next to you and having it the first thing that you touch in the morning and check when you wake up. First thing in the morning, you get up, you go for a walk, you don't touch your phone, you don't check your notifications. Then staying up, scrolling is another thing. If you stay up scrolling for an hour before you go to bed, you don't just miss an hour of sleep. You have the next 7 hours of way worse sleep because of the blue light. And number 3, define your top 3 needle movers the night before. If you wake up in the morning and you don't know exactly what you need to do today to get closer to your goal, you're already lost. This is why this kills you. First of all, you start the day with decision fatigue. Let's say you have 20 things on your to-do list. You've done 12, but the 12 were the easiest ones to do. And there were 3 other important things that you then ignored. So you didn't get further to your goal, really. So what you should do is write down your 3 most important tasks for tomorrow. What has the highest impact on your movement towards your goal? And then think about the 3 action steps that you could take to have the maximum movement towards your goal. Do these first. And everything else is a bonus. This was a game changer in my life, and I live a very good life today, which I'm very grateful for. I'm completely financially independent. I can live wherever I want. I can do whatever I want whenever I want. Number 4, kill the project. Become your own worst enemy. And this might sound very odd, but this is very powerful. This might be a game changer for you, especially when it comes to identifying bad habits that are really stopping you right now, that are the root cause of your cycle, where you constantly give it your all for 3 days and again crash again and relapse hard. You need to find the root causes of that problem. And you do it with Kill the Project. Okay, so imagine you're your own worst enemy. How would you sabotage yourself to make sure that you don't reach your goals? What traps would you plant into your life? What distractions would you create? What limiting beliefs would you whisper in your head? How would you make yourself quit? This works because, first of all, you're going to get awareness. Just knowing where the danger zones are prevents most crashes already. Then you can also create systems to avoid these traps. What would you do to sabotage yourself? You would leave your phone next to your bed. So it's the first thing you touch in the morning, and you get right off track. You get right on Instagram and far away from your 3 needle mover activities. Keep junk food easily available everywhere in your house, so you can always snack a little bit of junk food and drain your energy. Surround yourself with people who don't support your goals and hate on you or make fun of you when you talk about your goals. And never plan your day in advance. Then now flip this. Remove these traps and build systems that make success inevitable. Accountability partners. This really changed my life forever. Stop flying solo. We as humans are not designed to win alone. We're designed to win in team. You need systems and you need people to keep you consistent. What you need is someone who will call you out on your BS, who will regularly check in with you, and where you mutually hold each other accountable. Find someone who has similar goals and who's also already taking action on these goals. Set specific meeting times. For example, meet every day at 7 a.m. or 8:30 a.m. for 5 to 10 minutes on Zoom. Share your 3 needle mover activities with each other. Then check back on each other. Are these really the 3 activities for this other person to reach his goal? Hold each other accountable. Next day, you discuss. Have you done the 3 things? Why maybe not? What was the root cause? How can you fix it? Help each other to see reality for what it really is. Find the true bottlenecks. Identify the actual needle movers for the other person. And here are 3 very important principles to make this work. First of all, radical transparency. Second of all, radical open-mindedness. If you're not open-minded to the fact that you could be on the wrong path right now, that you're doing the wrong things when it comes to achieving your goal, if you're not open-minded to those facts, like, how do you want to change? Obviously, you need to hold each other accountable on achieving your goals by doing simple daily action steps. This isn't about being nice. It's about results. So it's about being real and calling each other out on the other's BS. Number 6 is a mind shift. Stop tolerating less because you do not rise to the level of your goals. You fall back to the level of your system. You don't need higher goals. You need to stop tolerating mediocrity. You always fall back to your minimum acceptable standard that you're just still willing to accept. If you tolerate being lazy, you'll be lazy. If you tolerate excuses, you'll make excuses. If you tolerate inconsistency in your life, you'll be inconsistent. Instead of setting bigger goals, raise your minimum standard. Don't aim to work for 12 hours a day. Focus on having 3 focused hours every single day on your priorities, on the 3 needle movers. Don't try to read 100 books. Just make 10 pages daily your baseline. Start taking notes and start journaling. And I know everyone is telling you this, but you shouldn't do it like everyone tells you, because this will just burn you out. And this will just be another task to add to your to-do list, which is horrible. I do it in a completely different way. Here's my approach. I don't journal it professionally. I don't try to be consistent with this, but I am consistent. So here's what I'm doing. Just have the Notes app on your iPhone and just make a note called Notes. And whenever a thought hits you, just write it down in the moment. Don't wait for it. Don't wait for the evening. Don't wait for a specific time. It might be an insight, a realization, some lesson. Just capture it. Just everything that comes to mind, write it down. Then review your notes once a week and reflect back. This is so powerful. This is a game changer. Then look for patterns and breakthroughs in there. Here's why this beats traditional journaling. First of all, you don't have any pressure to write daily, which is just stupid. You capture real insights and don't have that forced kind of reflection. You have these weekly reviews and it becomes natural, not just another task. And honestly, you don't need any tools. You just need a Notes app on your iPhone. Here's your roadmap. If you follow that, this will be the easiest path to implement this. Just define one habit that you want to implement in your life. Just stick with that for 3 weeks. Just ask yourself the question, what is one thing, if I would do that daily, that would really have a positive impact on me achieving my goal. And then identify the three needle movers for tomorrow and then do that every single night. Do the kill the project exercise once. Try to find out what the biggest traps in your life are. What you should also do, find an accountability partner to hold you accountable with these three needle movers every single day. As I said, I would recommend to once every single week at least, just go through those notes. That is so freaking powerful. Consistency is really not about perfection. It's about showing up even when you don't feel like it. Ladies and gentlemen, that's it. If you liked the video, leave it a thumbs up. And right now, you should comment the one habit that you want to integrate in your life to become someone who's actually able to achieve your goal way faster than you are.